So, today we are going to do some planting of some seeds to show you guys how I do it. Doesn't mean it's the right way, but I've had some success with the way I do it, and I kind of use different potting soils. There's a lot of different variables when it comes to planting, but I'll get into the gist of it and show you how I get it done. We're going to do it all in one take. I had a little editing failure yesterday when I tried to do this, so we're just going to do this all in one take, no editing, just post it to YouTube, nice and easy. So here we go. So we're in the greenhouse. Here's my greenhouse. We'll start from like the entrance area where the door's at. It's like right here when you're walking in. It's kind of fun. Did a little keyhole design, little U shape so you can get in here. Two people can stand here and plant at the same time, which is nice. I got a couple shelves, one down there, one up here. Cool. Gotta, really make space of this small area. So, a little background of where we're at. So what I was gonna plant today was some Sun Golds. I really like these types of tomatoes. I think they're really good. And I got these from the store in Albany. And so, one thing to realize when you're planting stuff is you flip it over, you look at the back, and everything's different. So this one says, let's say since we're doing inside, when to start inside, recommended 4 to 6 weeks before transplanting. Transplant when air temperature is 45 degrees or warmer, usually 1 to 2 weeks after your last frost date. Ideal soil temperatures, So, it literally tells you what to do. So for outside, for mild climates only, which we are somewhat mild sometimes, 1 to 2 weeks after your average last frost date when soil temperature is at least 60 degrees. So we'd have to wait a couple weeks because April 30th is usually our average last frost date, if I'm right. Might be before then. But I could wait a couple weeks and do it outside, but we're going to do it inside. And we're doing it a little late because this is supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks before transplanting. And I'd want to transplant, obviously, when you sell outside or like when it gets warm enough. But it's not a big deal. We can still start them. I know I'm talking a lot, but we'll start them inside, and we'll just see what happens. I started these a couple weeks ago, and they're looking good, and things are starting to pop up. I had to make a bunch of newspaper pots in a pinch, and I know you're not supposed to use colored. You can see there's like dye right there, and there's some colored ones over here and stuff, which isn't great. Not optimal, but it's what I had. I had to make some pots to get some stuff planted. So that's what we did. I was going to show you guys how to make these, but since I can't really edit right now and my computer's a wiggy, I'm just going to say, hey, I put these with a can. I wrap newspaper around it on a can, tape it, and then you just fold up the bottom and tape the bottom. Here's one that I did yesterday as like an example, but you won't see it, but you just tape the bottom. Really easy. And this one's black and white, so you can use that paper for organic use, legitimately, as we're learning in class. So, here we are. We're planting these tomatoes. Like I said, this one says 4 to 6 weeks, and then it also says 1/8-inch seed depth, 5 to 10 days till it emerges. Seed spacing, a group of 3 seeds every 2 feet to 3 feet, 24 inches, 36. So, that's tomatoes. That's that one type of tomato. So if we look at like a pumpkin, its seed depth is 1 inch. When to sow outside is what's recommended. When to sow inside is not recommended. So I was going to start these today, but I'm not since it's not recommended. So, cool. That's just something to really think about when you're, buying seeds or, go to the store. And if you're like, I don't know when to plant things, just go look at the backside. It tells you when to literally plant it inside or outside. And then you can figure out kind of a planting schedule from there, or go online and look at planting schedules, which are really useful. So let's get into planting some seeds. So here's my pots. In my opinion, the first thing to do is label, because you don't want to lose, you got to label it. So I have my nice popsicle sticks, and we'll label, and we'll put our camera up here so you guys can see. And so we'll label this. This is Sun Gold tomato. Sun Gold. tomato. Okay. Sun Gold tomato. Awesome. So, got our label. Now, it says 1/8 inch deep. So I barely need to make a hole. Just barely make a hole. Boop, boop, boop. Barely make a hole. And what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to use the soil that's in here. I'm going to grab a little potting soil that I have in the bag and just cover it up. So I'm literally just going to throw these seeds in a little divot and then cover it up with the potting soil I have. Just open this bag up. Wow, that bag opened up really nicely. Usually these bags are a pain in the butt to open. There. Okay. Got our bag. Ooh. Oh, they gave us a little package. We gotta be careful. We gotta be careful. Because these little packages have barely any seeds in them. At least from yesterday's experience. If I can get the bag open. Oh my goodness. Put this guy in there. There we go. Need a freaking seed opener, not a lead opener. Okay, there we go. Boom. Now you want to be controlled with your seeds, you know. You don't want to just be losing them and whatnot. We paid good money for this. Whole $2.99 for a pack of seeds. Okay. So you can see, there's not very many in there. So I'm going to have to be careful. Just pour them all out. My hand. Oh, there's one in the back. We'll just leave it. Okay. And so, boom. We'll just do, 1 to 2 for each one. I don't get too particular. I think 1 to 2 is good. You can always thin them or separate them. Or if one doesn't germinate, then you have a little higher likelihood. And so, we'll just do that there. So one last seed I'll grab. Throw it in one of these. Right there. Okay. All the seeds are in the pots. Just take a little potting soil. A little bit of potting soil. Throw it on top. A little bit of potting soil. Like I said, it only needs an 1/8 inch deep, which is nothing. So just a little bit of potting soil. Throw it on top. A little bit of potting soil. Throw it on top. Boom. Good to go. Alright, so those are in the ground. And the last thing, give them a little water, obviously, as everyone knows. Water your plants. And there we go. That's how I plant my seeds. So, we'll see how that goes. I'm a little worried with the newspaper pots this year. I've used them in the past, years ago, when we were in a pinch as well, and they worked great. They can be a little unsteady, they're not as nice and rigid as the nice hard plastic pots, and then there can be, certain dyes and inks leak chemicals, and I guess like cadmium and maybe some nickel or something can leach into your soil. But I'm just doing this hopefully for this year, so I'm not too worried about, when I plant these pots. I'll probably not even put the newspaper in the ground, probably just rip them open, and then the newspaper I'll just, burn it in a fire or something. So that's how I plant my seeds. But yeah, we're good. I was thinking for the end, I'll show you something really cool that's happened recently. In the last week, I was weeding a little bit. I don't weed a lot out here, so I don't really think weeding should be what we spend our time on if we work with systems correctly. But I was out here and I saw a little bit of movement, and we'll get a stick to show you guys. And I can see them right now. They're popping through because they're getting really big. But we have little baby bunnies burrowed in the hugel bed. Look at them, they're huge. There's 4 or 5, maybe even 6 of them there. Oh, they're so cute. Cover them back up so nothing gets them. Cover them back up. Oh, they're so cute. So, yeah, this hugel bed has literally been here for a year. I made these last spring, grew into them, they grew great. You can see the Swiss chard is still hanging around, the strawberries blew up. All this stuff was planted last year, literally. And I have one over there. But you can, I mean, habitat and bunnies are already in the bed. And the best thing is too, they till the soil. They literally, there's clay right here that was deep in there. It's a layer that was deep in there, and then on top I put mint compost. So they literally are turning the soil, tilling the soil for me already, 1 year in to having hugel beds. So I thought I'd just show you that. You guys have a good one, and that's how I plant my seeds.